Hi guys, how you doing? Just wanted to fold back up and show you where I'm at in veg now. If you've been following along, and I really appreciate the people that do in the comments. I have two Super Boofs here on the far right, middle, and that's a Blue Dream on the left. They're the same age. The Super Boof in the middle is kind of about normal size. Remember, it's also a little lower because of the 3-inch bag, but yeah, these two outer ones have been really good growing plants. I just got done topping this one here and here. And this one's got nice 8, it's 2, 2, 2, and 2. And this one down there's got 10 because I femmed it and it gave me a really nice third one. So I'm going to put these in flower. I just topped that today. Now, I just transplanted these yesterday from 2-gallon bags that had probably about 1.5 gallons in them into these bags yesterday. And this 3-gallon bag, I'm going with that because I'm going to put these in flower earlier and keep them compact, and then just go for colas and not a lot of trimming. So that's where we're at. I'm using Fox Farm Motion Forest soil, and when I did my transplant yesterday, a bag of Fox Farm Motion Forest soil, 1.5 cubic, comes out to basically just like 9.7 gallons or 9.6. Yeah, that'd be right about 9.6, just under 10. So enough to do 2 5-gallon bags and leave you enough space to top dress as you go through flower or in veg, So that's what I've done here. I've got enough room to top dress. I'll do that on week 4. Yesterday I mixed in Gaia Green as I transplanted these. I mixed in Mycos mycorrhiza, and then I also mixed in 10% of the soil I added was worm castings that I added. So I added that in as well, and mycorrhiza to the soil as well. Fox Farm will carry is a hotter soil, so it'll carry this through this week between now and when Gaia Green starts to take off or deliver its nutrients. So I could give it Green Rush right now, but Fox Farm will carry that through. I might give it to one just to see, because I haven't used Green Rush through a whole growth cycle yet. But it's an instant version of an organic compost tea, basically. And it's kind of nice because Gaia Green takes longer to break down growing organic. Anyways, I'm not in that situation now, so I added mostly your all-purpose Gaia Green yesterday. As they directed, basically 3 tablespoons per gallon of medium or soil. But you're obviously not going to put in for the soil that you already had in the pot that you're transplanting in. So just added it to that. I pre-mixed it beforehand, so I knew everything was good. And left room for top dressing. So those are in there, and we're good to go. I watered them heavily after I transplanted them yesterday with 6.5, just straight up water, no CalMag. I'll start adding CalMag, and I'll probably feed them once with Green Rush just to see what they really don't. They look beautifully green. They're really happy. I mean, they were just transplanted yesterday. This one over here on the left, I transplanted from a bag and let it grow a little while. It took off so much that it actually attached to the bottom of the bag. So, that was a kind of a pain in the ass, but that can happen. So, that does happen to me once in a while. But a lot of people don't use bags before they up pot. I don't usually either, but all my other pots are full, and I'm not going out and buying them. I had some smaller bags, is what it is. So these are just about, like I said, in a week after these other 2 tops come to form out. I'll put them in the flower. I'm not looking for 3 or 4 nodes to come out of those tops. I'm just looking for one healthy set of top node, fully formed, and then I'll put them in flower. And then I'll pull off any nodes on this, especially this middle one. That's giving me more because I filmed it, and I will pull off any nodes up until the last 2, and then I'll flower it from there, so I have nothing but colas and a lot less trim work, because I don't need the extra stuff right now, and this cannabis is for myself, not my patients. So it will be, I will turn these into colas, And that's why I'm going to keep these compact, do 3 in this tent, and I know I'll get the same, if not more, than I would if I grew 2 bigger ones. So we're good to go. So I thank you for following along. This AC Infinity light has been giving me some problems. I was going to close it out there and then realized I forgot something. That's what us rednecks do. So anyway, yeah, I don't, this AC Infinity light, it's a Evo 3 Ion, Evo 3 whatever. 240 watts comes out of it, but since I had it, I've noticed that one side of it, the left side, is putting out now averaged. I showed it to them after, so they'll replace, but it's putting out 82 more par than the right side. And actually, that makes a difference. It's not like you can hang this light on an angle to change that par. So yeah, and that explains some things with me while I was having problems with this light. So I actually used my real meter, and did a valid test, showed them the results. They're sending me one of these, and I have to send them this one back, of course, is what it is. I wish I would have stayed with Spider Farmers because I'm used to those LEDs. When I transitioned from HID, and I still do use some metal halide for vegging in my basement, but the LIDs I'm most familiar with and like the best out of all the ones I've tried have been Spider Farmer, and I'm not promoting them. I just like them. This is the same full spectrum. It puts off a hell of a lot of light, this AC Infinity unit, but I like to be able to move my lights. You see, I mean, that looks like a ton of shit going on there, but it's not. You know what I mean? It really isn't. And these are just Spider Farmer SF1000s. They're 100 watts each is what they'll pull from the wall. They're dimmable. All my other Spider Farmers are too old to have dimmable. You got to do it with a screwdriver. And that's always a little nervous. Unplugged. But anyways, so I like to be able to move these up and down. And these put out a lot of power as well, because you're talking about 300 watts. I just like Spider Farmer. They've always lasted a long time for me. I'm still growing with 6, 7, 8-year-old Spider Farmer lights. When I made a transition from HID, and so yeah, I really like those lights better than having one direct light across, unless you're in a bigger area, bigger space. But so anyways, I think that'll help me out figuring that out and showing them that. And apparently it does happen more often than people know. So I would suggest if you have one of these lights, definitely give it a good check. Pull your plants out, do the check right, and get an average and see. Because for me, it really was messing up, and I was growing the same strains. So, it just did, and couldn't figure it out. But now I did, and I believe that's it. So yeah, so these, and the light, these, I'm currently vegging these plants, and the 2 taller ones are getting 450 par at the top, at the leaf, and the middle one's 400. And they seem to be digging that. I don't want them to be praying too much, and I don't want them to be laying down too much or curling. These plants, like I said, were just transplanted yesterday, so they're still recovering from that. It's kind of a big ordeal when when you let them get that big and transplant them. Not big, it's just a little stressful for the plant, and then for me to whack off 4 more nodes off it, it's enough, But these plants are doing real healthy. Just water them with pure 6.5 pH water. Have a good pH meter. That's what I would suggest for everybody. And then I clean this, this tank really good. The fans are clean, they're spotless, everything's good. So we're ready to do this run now, and I'll get back with you right before I put these in the flower, just to show you how I've denoted it and what nodes I've left on it, and how we're going to go from there. And so you can see how I can direct these colas so it'd be less trimming. It's just I'm looking just for good colas, and we'll go from there. I was gonna Jesus, not can't even think of the word. Graft. I was gonna graft a one of my Bruce Banner clone to this Blue Dream, and just to so you guys could see it flower out. But it's really, it's a bunch of bullshit work just to flower it. Grafting's great, and I do it for like a mother plant. If you want 6, 7 plants or strains on one plant for your mother plant, that's the way to do it. For at least for me, because it doesn't take up as I don't have the space to hold on to 8 different mother plants for clones for my patients, so I can use 1 or 2 plants, have 6, 7 different. You can put up to 13. You can put up to, I don't know. It's multiple. It depends on you, but you know, the most I've ever or have currently going is one with 6 and one with 5 different strains on it, and those are what I get my clones off for the patients I have. These I've cloned these 2, all 4 of these, and then but these 2 ones right here on the outer side, this Super Boof and that Blue Dream, really I'm really happy with what I'm seeing right now, and they just want to be super growers, huge, just really big stalks. You know, they're going to be some nice growing plants. Even the regular size one's pretty decent, but 3-gallon bags, all that needs to carry it through flower. So, yep, like I said, I'll get back with you then. I hope this video doesn't suck too bad. I'm not very good at this, so I appreciate you following along. Peace.